We are halfway through the season, so here are my theories for the rest of It Welcome to Derry from somebody who has read this book now twice. Of this main group of 4 kids, I think that Will is the only one that's going to make it out okay. This is sad because I love them all, but I am almost absolutely certain that Veronica Grogan is going to die. And that's because Veronica Grogan is actually a victim of Pennywise in It the book. So in the book, Veronica actually dies during Georgie's cycle, which if you want to hear about the cycles, I did that a couple videos back. But Maddie Clements also died during Georgie's cycle in the book, and he was the first one to die this season, so anything's possible. The reason that I think that Rich is sadly going to die is because I believe that Margaret Truman is going to eventually become Margaret Tozier and become Richie's mother. In the book, we learn that Richie's mother's name is Margaret, though she goes by Maggie, not Marge. But Marge, like Richie, has to wear glasses, which she hates, and it actually makes her really hate eyes, as we can definitely see from that last episode. But it's the same thing with Richie, and in fact, in this book, he is attacked by eyes multiple times because that's his fear. And I think the reason we have this character, Rich Santos, is because he's going to die and Margaret is eventually going to name her son after him. Well, I'm not necessarily sure if Lily is going to die. I do think they're going to give her a lobotomy. I say this because after last episode, she is definitely on her way back to Juniper Hills for a 3rd time. And in this like super creepy opening, there is an image of doctors giving somebody a lobotomy, so I think this is a foreshadow. Now, we already know that Will Hanlon is safe because he has to go on to become the father of Mike Hanlon, so he has to survive this season. My next theory is that Dick Halloran and Pennywise are going to get into a battle of the minds, kind of like Rose the Hat and Aberdew and Dr. Sleep, if you're familiar with that. But Dick Halloran has a trick to stop that he learned from his grandmother. I talked about that in depth in my last video. But Dick Halloran and this trick, I think, is going to be essential to ending this cycle and sending it back to sleep for the next 27 years. And he's going to do this with the help of his dead grandmother, who has presented herself to him a couple times, and I don't think that's it. I actually think that's his grandmother. So last episode, we found out that Hank Grogan is not being truthful about his alibi because it turns out he was with a married white woman. And I think we might find out that that woman is the wife of Chief Bowers. And I think this might actually put into motion the burning down of the Black Spot. So a couple videos ago, I talked about the lore of the Black Spot from the book. In that, I talk about how the attack is done by the main Legion of White Decency because they don't like the fact that Black people have their own space. But I think in the show, they might do that with the help of Chief Bowers because he might orchestrate this whole thing to get back at Hank's community. In the last episode, we learn about how it was confined to the woods and these colonists showed up and ignored the Native Americans' warnings to not go in the woods, so they were all slaughtered. I think those are the missing settlers that they talk about in It 2017 and that they talk about in the book as well. In the movie, Ben tells the group about how these English settlers showed up and established Derry Township, but then all 91 settlers went missing without a trace, and there was rumors that they were killed by Native Americans, but nobody actually knows what happened. In the book, this happens in 1741, and it's actually 340 settlers that vanish without a trace, but I do think that the colonists that they talked about in this last episode are those people. This is what a lot of people are talking about, and I agree. Ingrid, the supposed housekeeper from Juniper Hills, is actually Mrs. Kirsch. This crazy old lady from It Chapter 2. Mrs. Kirsch is the daughter of Bob Gray, who ends up becoming Pennywise. This is a still in the latest trailer. These pictures are from 1908, and it's a little girl and Bob Gray, who's going to be Pennywise. So I'm assuming that Lily is going to find these in Ingrid's house. And Ingrid is also this little clown from the beginning of episode 3. Some people are speculating that they don't think Ingrid exists at all, and while I do think that can be possible, I personally do think she exists, and I think she actually might try to help Lily. When the episode where she's first introduced, she puts Lily's charm bracelet back on her before she leaves Juniper Hills. And I think Ingrid's intentions all lie in that charm bracelet. In episode 1, we saw that Lily put a turtle charm on that bracelet that Maddie had given her. And that's what protected her from it. That's why she's the only one that survived that theater massacre. Because basically the turtle Maturin is the creator of the universe and he helps Bill and the kids defeat it. It's a whole thing. But the turtle is protecting Lily. So if Ingrid put that bracelet with the turtle charm back on Lily, then she's protecting her. But when she puts it on Lily, I don't see the turtle charm. So if Ingrid took the turtle charm, she did that purposely so that Lily is no longer protected. Also, the butcher that we meet briefly in episode 2, that's Stan Kirsch. So I think that this is probably Ingrid's husband. What are your theories? What did I miss? Do any of these sound insane? I don't know. Let me know.